All right. Green Devotion. Leyline of Abundance here. I can only assume incredibly busted card that's going to let us win every game because this card's banned in Pioneer. And again, this one of the things I like to highlight when people talk about Historic and getting Pioneer cards added to it over the course of the next little bit as they add Pioneer to Arena is that Pioneer and Historic are going to be distinct. Not only because of things like anthologies, adding cards that aren't Pioneer legal to Historic, but also because the management of the ban list is different. Leyline of Abundance here that we have in this Green Devotion deck, Nexus of Fate, Field of the Dead. These are all things that would be legal in Pioneer, but have since been banned there and left banned even after Theros for who knows what reasons. Anywho, this is a green ramp deck here that's looking to make large amounts of mana to either activate Leyline of Abundance's ability to pump up all of our creatures a ton, make mana with Nissa to attack a bunch, play a giant Voracious Hydra, and then we've also got this hybrid sideboard plan here. So our sideboard has things to find with Vivien and things to find with Karn the Great Creator. So we've got Cage and Spear and Soul Lantern and Spyglass and God Pharaohs. And then we have some things like Meteor Golem, Platinum Angel, and Stone Coil Serpent that are actually artifacts and creatures, right? So we can find them with either of these. Yeah, so when we're playing this deck, the only real card we're going to be sideboarding in are these Lovestruck Beasts, are here as an anti-aggro tool, but other than these, pretty much everything in our sideboard is for one of our two tutors, or for both of them. So let's go ahead and hop on into a Historic event with this one, and see how it goes. You know what? I'm sorry. During the last break, I forgot to fill my water bottle. I'll be back in just a second. Didn't even miss anything. Watching the stream makes me miss Big Tef and Azcanta so much. Well, you can play with those right now. Historic's great. I'm excited to see this format grow and expand a little bit. Looks like it's probably better in Best of One. I believe that's accurate. Oh, every time, chat. Every time. Never not the 8th card. Never not the 8th card. Should have mulliganed, right? Ninja Dave, thanks for 16 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I start here. So Nyx Lotus here, our slightly slower variation of Nyx Fleece Ram, or sorry, Nyx Fleece Ram, Shrine to Nyx. Main deck Light of Hope, that's cheeky. Let them get the Sarah Ascendant online right away. And I think I'm just going to take the hit from 8 here so I can make a ton of mana next turn. So I think we go ahead and Leyline to start. And then this is 7, 8, 9. So I can play this as a 7/7 and eat their Sarah Ascendant, right? Seven, 8, sorry. Yeah, this could be someone talking about Ulamog being printed later this month. This would be an excellent shell to throw some Ulamogs into, for sure. We could... Vivien... Yeah, Vivien fetches Ulamog from the sideboard.
You picked the wrong fight.
I advise that my grief fuels my mission.
Alright, so we're done here. They stumbled and they do not have time to recover. The old God Pharaoh statue. Is this a matchup where... Is this a Lovestruck Beast matchup? They're kind of aggressive, right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure we really need Lovestruck Beast here. Their creatures get pretty big pretty fast. You think this is a Lovestruck Beast matchup? I don't know, it just gets outclassed really quickly, right? The 1/1 chumps, that's fair. Cause it's a sneepa keepa doo 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 sneepa keepa doo 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 doo. We are probably going to Phyrexian Obliterator a lot of people. Yeah, and our Nissa lands will tap for 3 with Leyline out. Okay, so... if I do this, I have 1 left over. And then we float, untap, activate this. Maybe this is wrong because it lets Heliod potentially kill her. Yes, probably wrong. When your ramp card's also Gavity Township, yeah, basically. I still have plenty of mana though, right? I have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they prioritize gaining life as opposed to killing Leyline, which is interesting. So they can attack with Heliod here, but anything else they attack with gets eaten in combat, right? So I can pump up the squad. Just gonna go ahead and go to 12 here, and then we'll activate Leyline at end of turn. Is that a good one? Seems okay. Maybe slightly above average. I think we just turtle for the time being. If we keep her alive, pumping out things will be... Like I said, I think I was too aggressive with the first one. I should have saved to chump block for her. Thanks for the 2 years, Swingy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So probably throwing Goose underneath a Heliod-shaped bust this turn. We can activate Leyline as well, because each of these make 3s. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana at the moment. Thanks for the 21 months. Keep the hoots coming. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. Brussels Boy, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Yeah, speaking of, by the way, in case there's any new viewers in here this morning, if you're someone that enjoys Historic and you're interested in playing in a Historic tournament, on May the 23rd, we'll be having our 3rd Hoots tournament, which is open for all of my Twitch subs to play in. So these are going to go up to 6 and 5. So those will be 6 minus 11 total. So I think I just block like this and activate Leyline. Any green devotion decks the last Historic Open? I don't believe so. Oh, they ordered blockers wrong and didn't kill the Paradise Druid. Awkward. We could have made a food with Goose. I think you're right. I don't think that's really going to matter here.
Behold, nature's true power.
The old tap my 2 land creatures for 8 mana. It's going to make their threats really large here. So not only does Linden turn back on their Heliod, but all of these will gain a life and give +1/+1 when they attack now. The requirements for critical thinking and structured arguments have helped me in my job. Thanks for the continued edutainment. Thanks for the quarter for your better. Opponent trying to figure out, wow, they just didn't attack. Well, that's certainly good for us. Alright, that's a Karn. So, like, the world's our oyster here. We have infinite mana. So what are we doing with Karn? Do we just, like, get Platinum Angel?
My allies are counting on me.
I guess I could just get Meteor Golem and kill... No, I just get Meteor Golem, right? So we destroy the Linden? Karn is a Reese's Pieces menu. There are no wrong answers here. So each of these are 4, so this is 8. So if I don't attack with this, I can activate these twice. Make the world's most earth-shattering stone coil rate. That was sweet. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen Green Devotion. Like, it's just not something anybody's been playing. Like, I haven't played against it. This is our first time playing with it. Maybe this video set will change that a little bit. Yeah, this deck will get a solid upgrade from Ulamog being printed too. Big agree. So this hand's not like super explosive like some of our others, but I think I'm hard pressed to pass up Llanowar Elves on one. You think Gruul's a hard matchup for this archetype? I could see that. Jeskai? We'll look to see how we do against Deafening Clarions here, most likely. Mycosynth Lattice is not in any Pioneer legal sets. So Mycosynth Lattice is not a guarantee, and I'd be pretty surprised if they print it into this format. Goodbye, friends. Yeah, Phyrexian Obliterator is a gasoline card to have added to the format. Really, really looking forward to that one. So opponent making the mistake of trying to eat my food here, so now I get to sack this and deny them their card draw, which is really good for us. Yikes. Opponent looking like they're playing something similar to the Jeskai deck we played in the previous set to this. And like I said, I think that Jeskai deck's very good against, Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I should have played the Nissa.
You will not threaten this world.
I mean, they can demand all they want, Talrand. I'd be incredibly surprised if fetches ended up in this format. Justice Strike with Obliterator works the way the person casting Justice Strike wants it to. If your Obliterator gets Justice Struck, you're going to sacrifice 5 things. It isn't going to be a good seed for the Obliterator player. Feel pretty dead here. If I had played the Nissa, I might have been a little bit better off there, but at the same time. And we don't really have anything to sideboard, right? Like we said, our sideboard's mostly a wish package. Am I supposed to bring in Questing Beast here, or am I supposed to leave that in the sideboard to fetch with Vivien? That's a real question. I think the answer is you're supposed to leave it in there to fetch with Vivien. Have over 200 people signed up for the next Oglandia Open. That's exciting. Cool Stuff Inc. is sponsoring that event again. So we're going to have Cool Stuff Inc. store credit to give out to players that get at least 7 match wins in the tournament. Prizes range from $25 in store credit for 7 match wins to $125 in store credit for the winner of the event. Interested in playing some Historic on May 23rd? Make sure you sign up for that. In terms of other tournaments coming up too, the Red Bull Untapped, their first qualifier, has over 1,800 people signed up for it. It's going to be a long flippin' tournament for those people, chat. That's kind of unreal. Really hope we see WotC prioritize open tournament play so we can have things super consistently. The blue splash helps us match up. Yeah, I'd believe that. Buy that for $1. Dear opponent, please don't sweep my board. Don't do it. Have a heart, opponent. Have a heart. All right, I'm gonna put my chips on the can't beat Clarion. Clench. Yes. So kind, letting your opponent play Distasteful Stroke on 2, right? Oh no! Oh, my Leyline, chat. My Leyline. Yikes.
I battle for the forces of good.
We are getting a historic ladder for good with HA3. That is correct. That is an accurate assessment of what's going on. What am I getting here? I think it's this.
Only time will tell.
Just play a big Hydra. No, I think I want to get the Karn down, and I want to kill their Teferi. We have a Shatter. No Shatter is sweet. A ladder is a Q mask.
Stand down.
You want to get Great Henge? I guess Great Henge costs the same as Meteor Golem there in terms of mana. You meant a separate... No, they'll be the same ladder like they were previously, Mask. Arena has 2 ladders, one for all constructed formats and one for all limited formats. Which I think is fine overall. I think that's a reasonable take for them to have with their ladder system.
I'll protect you.
Don't mind if I take my octopus for a walk.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, say hello to my little friend. Trust me, I have a plan.
I know 88 ways to defeat.
Hey, Bartman, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Good morning. Welcome back. Am I slimmer? Nope. Nope. Almost assuredly not. Well, the good news is our opponent only has 1 red source with this ultimatum.
Oceans.
Yeah, I feel pretty dead at the moment. I agree with that sentiment. I did shave. That's true. That's true. The beard does take some weight off. Trimmed the neck beard up. Remember that, chat. The neck beard makes you look like you're fatter than you are.
True goodness can
Them's just the facts. Well, I guess this isn't even that good with Narset in play, right? This is as close to clean shaven as I get. Trimmed down and no neck beard.
Hone your prowess.
Let's get this game's over. We are doing well, Mana Symbol. It is supposed to get up to 80 degrees today before I started this morning. The scene's great. Before I started this morning, we have 3 little plastic kiddie pools. I dragged those out into the backyard and filled them up with some water in the sun so they could heat up a little bit. So they're going to play outside in the water today. Hey, Nomish. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oaklandia. I think I just do this into Llanowar Elves. Hey, good game, Snowmish. Good luck in the rest of your constructed event. This guy deck's sweet. I think it's very good against creature decks like what I'm playing. We actually, if you weren't watching before this, we actually played a Jeskai variation in the set before this one in Historic. So I can do this. And then I have up to 6 mana here, right? If I wanted. Right? Because I could undiddle this and then pump it into here and make 6. I think I just grabbed Stonecoil Serpent. Or sorry, it's 5? No, it's 6, right? Yeah. Casual 10 mana worth of plays on turn 3. So had Karn been Ulamog, we would have been able to cast Ulamog that turn. Had Karn been Ulamog, we would have been able to cast Ulamog that's getting printed that turn. And for people that didn't see it, they spoiled Ulamog and Phyrexian Obliterator as the first 2 cards we're getting in Historic Anthology 3. They're up on my Twitter, and Scryfall has a link of it. They announced that Historic Anthology 3 will have 27 cards in it, and they showed us the first 2 of them. Okay, so turn 4, we'll make 12 mana, and we'll cast this as a 10/10. Exile 2 target permanents, Ulamog. They've raised the alarm, chat. They've raised the alarm. I will rid you of your corruption. HA3 will be released on May 21st. It will be legal for the Hoots tournament that is happening 2 days later. So May 21st will be the release for HA3. May 23rd is the Hoots tournament. So we'll have a full spoiler before then, so you'll be able to theory craft a little bit, and then you'll have a day and a half, 2 days to slam things on the ladder before the tournament after you theory craft a bit. Because the Historic ladder will get turned back on with that release. Yep. Yeah, I agree. I almost picked the 30th, We ended up picking the 23rd because Christie's due on June 20th, so 30th would have been a little bit sketchy in case the baby came super early. So I'm excited. There's a little bit of a risk that, like, they were going to release HA3 after our tournament, which would have been really sad, so I'm super excited that the timing lined up really well for us. I don't know when the full spoiler is. Do you start learning Historic now? Well, I will guarantee you that at least two of our Hoots tournaments every cycle are going to be Historic. So if you're someone that wants to play in Hoots tournaments somewhat consistently, learning Historic is a good idea. So I could Vivien, put some counters on here, untap it so I have a blocker. Or I could deploy double Paradise Druid to have more mana for next turn. I'd rather have more mana for next turn. That's close though. Sick little puppy. Thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think it's pretty close to the one. If you're the one that sent me an Abzan list on Twitter, I think it's pretty close to that. You can find the exact deck list in the deck queue as always. Well, that's pretty good. So my tournaments are predominantly going to be focused on making times convenient for people in the US, because that's just where I live. So 9 a.m. Central. If I go much earlier than that, I lose people on the West Coast. Even starting at 7 a.m. West Coast time, I lose some of those people. So, and do not expect the tournaments to have that start time change very much.
Close your eyes and listen to the sounds of the wild.
So you can just like pay for and make a 4/4 now? I think we're dead, chat. Civil Penguin, let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the 12 months. Welcome back. Fisher Price Magic client. I'd argue that Magic Online is more of the Fisher Price Magic client than anything. Magic Online is the client that looks cheap and old and like a toy. This client's like a sports car in comparison. It's super slick. I think we're dead, huh? Do we have the 7 mana Maelstrom Pulse to fetch with Karn? What's the 7 mana Maelstrom Pulse? When will signups for the Hooglandia Open start? They're open now. They started, we have over 200 people signed up. They opened up last week, earlier this week. You can always find the signups by typing !next open in chat. Oh, that's not Maelstrom Pulse, it's just Destroy Target thing. There are still spots available. Yeah, it's Vindicate. Not quite Vindicate. So, like, I have Thrashy Bee here to kill this, but I'm just, like, dead to their creatures, right? Yeah. You find Arena looks colorful and childish. Childish is a super subjective. If you think all video games are childish, I would kind of agree with you on that, but I mean, it definitely looks like a video game. It doesn't look like a paper Magic simulation. Guess I keep this. Yeah, I should have kept the 5. I don't know. I felt like I wanted the mulligan for a better mana dork. Thank you for the generous tier 3 more checks. I appreciate that. Welcome back. How is it just got control deck? Very good against creature decks. Very bad against Field of the Dead. And I assume by that person's definition, all video games are childish. Would be my assumption that they're working off of.
Defying you will be easy. Let's get moving.
In this land, we are all connected. The land fights for us.
You're not alone in that, Boris. There's a reason why when I stream MTGO, the numbers are much worse. There's a reason why when MTGO was the only client, Magic didn't really have a ton of Twitch presence. It's actually kind of fun. You could go back, so all Twitch viewer data is public on their API, and you can actually go back and look and compare what the average Twitch metrics were like before and after the arena release. Alright, I think we need to kill that one, right?
One drop ripples and grows.
I think I'm just gonna make the biggest Hydra possible here.
Rise, my elemental friend.
6, 8, 10, 12. What do you think about Helm of the Host in the sidebar? My question's always the same when you recommend a card. What problem does my deck have, and how is that problem solved by the card recommendation that you're making? Again, the appropriate way to approach deck building, in my opinion, is to identify problems and then try to pick out solutions to those problems. So if you'd like to recommend something, tell me how it solves problems that I'm currently experiencing. Gosh, they're so close to dead.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
They're going to 1, right? Because these don't trample. And then hopefully they can't go wide enough to avoid dying next turn. Is this card good in this deck? I don't know, I need to play some more games with it, but this card seemed underwhelming. Yeah, feels very slow. Yeah, it's no Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. It's way easier and cheaper to get all the cards. All right, I'm going to give you a timeout for being fundamentally incorrect. Hold on. I'm going to look it up. There's an article, I think. State of the program, is this it? One of these things gives, is this the article? So, the current price to buy every card on Magic the Gathering Online is $24,937. So again, when you want to make statements that can be answered empirically with data, don't be wrong. Don't miss. Don't act like what you're saying is correct. At least add some uncertainty. At least add something like, I feel, or I think, or this, or that. Yeah, for a playset of Magic Online is $25,000 as of this yesterday, I believe. Like, I think this was as of yesterday. Yeah, as of May 1st. It's $425 for a full playset of Ikoria on MTGO. Sure, so even that's expensive, right? Let's add this back to the queue and maybe Splash Blue. Sounds good, Seth. Thanks for your generosity. I appreciate it. And now again, what that person probably meant, and this is why your words have meaning and it's important to think about what you're saying, is that person probably meant it's easier for them to get one specific deck on Magic Online because of the third-party systems like MTGO traders who sponsor this stream have set up. Without services like MTGO traders, Magic Online would basically be impossible to get anything done. So shout out to MTGO traders for making Magic Online functional. But another thing to understand, and this is by design, the way Magic the Gathering Arena is designed, is that your nth deck on Magic Arena is always cheaper than your nth -1 deck cost. Every time you buy cards on Magic Arena, the next deck you build is cheaper. Because the way the wild card system works on Arena, you incidentally have cards for the next deck you want to play. That's just how it works.
I will not lose another friend.
And again, it's okay to say you prefer Magic the Gathering Online for whatever reason, but again, keep your preferences based in fact. Don't make stuff up. Lots of things are subjective. Don't act like your opinion is fact, though.
Meditate.
Sure, yeah, there's nothing wrong. And like Moto lets you play a deep pool of Magic formats. If you want to play a deep pool of Magic formats, Magic Online still beats Arena hands down until we get at least Pioneer, right? Like we have player draft now, we're gonna have cube drafts consistently, like we're slowly getting there. But again, you can talk about what you prefer and why without making stuff up or not being based in reality. Okay, so I can start activating Leyline here, but I don't really have a payoff. A lot of standard decks are $200+ on Moto. You could definitely get one for less than that on Arena. Yeah, actually, that's true. But to be fair, too, part of the reason why Standard's gotten so expensive on Magic Online is because of Arena.
Keep an open mind.
Hey, Jeremy, thanks for the 25 months. It's interesting to see people exploring things like Yorion and Fires in this format. Definitely feel like cards that are powerful enough to potentially have an impact here.
Smells fishy here.
Yeah, even someone like me that's fairly completionist, like, just completing my dailies and playing some events on occasion, like, I have, 50 to 100 packs worth of gold every set, basically. So let's do this. Then let's undiddle this.
Nature flows with vigor.
And then I can activate this again next turn. Alright, I need to...
Trick for this.
Hold on 1 second. What is going on? Declan, go upstairs right now. Down in the basement. Go watch you go upstairs. limo. Go. Get out of this basement now. It's a hard knock life, chat. It's tough being 4. Declan wanted to watch a show upstairs, but he couldn't find the remote. So instead of looking for the remote, he came down here and decided to sit on top of Jake while Jake was trying to watch a show on the TV down here. They're basically the physical embodiment of Twitch chat. For those that aren't familiar, for 4 and 6-year-olds, they're very, very close to being a physical embodiment of Twitch chat. I did make Declan go upstairs. I told Declan to go upstairs, and then Jacob is like, "Thank you, Daddy." All right. I don't know that it's very good, but I think I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to bring in Lovestruck Beast and this Questing Beast. I feel like these Nyx Lotuses have been bad, and I feel like I'd rather just have more threats. Honestly, just playing a playset of Questing Beasts in the main deck might be the right answer. Or like playing 3 of them in something else and leaving 1 in the sideboard. Like maybe you cut the Lotuses and you play like 3 Beasts in the 4th Vivien. Vivien's pretty good at making your mana dorks have text, which is appealing. They don't watch the same shows. Well, some of them watch the same shows, but, you know, they couldn't. Declan didn't feel the need to be able to watch the show with Jacob without sitting on him, so. Did you give the kids swords when they turned 12 months? It's funny you say that. There actually are. There's 2 lightsabers on the floor in my office, which they do occasionally get to play with. They also, Andrew in chat, my buddy Mike, he definitely dropped off Nerf guns that are bigger than Declan still at this point. So there are a wide range of Nerf guns in my house. Yeah, one of the things, I think the best way to articulate the issue with the Nyx Lotus here is that when the Nyx Lotus is best is when I have Leyline in play, and if I have Leyline in play, I probably don't need the Lotus, if that makes sense. If video games have taught me anything, weapons are more exciting when they're bigger than you.
Humble your mind. There is always strike with the cunning mind of the dragon.
Don't discard an ultimatum and kill my Hydra, please. Please don't have a 7-mana spell. Don't do it. Have a heart. Well, they're killing my Planeswalker, sure. Opponent confirmed, not ghosting. I appreciate you, opponent. I don't remember ever playing a list with growing rights, Ace, so I don't have an answer to your question.
Even masters make mistakes.
The rental services. Yeah, rental services are a good, cheap way to utilize Magic Online as well. But again, like, you have to understand that, like, those are a sunk cost, right? And, like, again, if you're someone that's really good at Magic, you can make a profit playing Magic Online, but most people aren't doing that, right? Like, as someone who, during grad school, made $200 to $300 a month just playing Magic Online leagues and daily events, Like, I understand that I was the exception, not the rule doing that, right? Yeah, you have to be good at it and play good decks is accurate. Big agree. It's not super straightforward. Is old Vivien an option? Yeah, that could maybe 5-mana Vivien. Or like, you know, matchups like this seem hard post-board. Maybe we don't need, you know, as many slots dedicated to the Wish package. And maybe we want a real sideboard. It could just be right to have a real sideboard. Is a possibility too. If I was going to explore green devotion options, I would want to try... What is that, Profit? No, that was Profit. I was having people PayPal me $200 to $300 a month for Magic Online tickets that I had won playing in events. Magic, as I have often stated on stream, Magic the Gathering Online is online gambling. It is. Just like the way the system works, if you're good, you're making money, and if you're not good, you're spewing a lot, potentially. I think I'm gonna be done with this one. So let's talk about this list and things I liked and things I didn't like. So we finished 2 and 2. We got beat up by the interactive decks, and we beat other decks that we just got to race. So things that felt good. Fast Nissa and Leyline of Abundance were both excellent. Was super happy with those. The actual devotion aspect of this deck felt like it left a bit to be desired. Nyx Fleece Lotus was slow. Kiora is really kind of a clunky ramp spell, all things considered. And I think if I'm cutting Nyx Lotus, I'd rather have another 2-mana dork that works with Leyline of Abundance. So, like, there's what's it called that we can play? You can play, like, Druid of the Cowl, Incubation Druid. Yeah, there's lots of different other dorks you could play. You could play in the 2-drops. Like, yeah, like, is Burning-Tree Emissary even good if you're moving off of that plan? I don't know. But like, Burning-Tree's nice because it floods the board and then makes you another body for this. It is worth noting Incubation Druid synergizing with this is sweet. So like, you go Druid on 2, Vivien on 3, put a counter on this, and then on 4, you ramp up a ton. Is nice. The Karn the Great Creator package is one that I'm just consistently underwhelmed by this card in almost everything we play it in. The range on the artifacts you're getting is pretty clunky, and the cost to your sideboard slots that you're giving up is very large. I feel like if I were to try this again, I would want to try it. I want to try it with a more aggressive slant to it. Like, be a fast Nissa deck / a deck that abuses Leyline and big mana. And yeah, I think when HA3 happens, some Ulamogs in here as a payoff for these could be good. I think we talked about Questing Beast. The control matchup felt very hard. Playing a bunch of Questing Beasts would make the control matchup much better. Stuff like that. Yeah, I think I would gut these 11 slots and gain my sideboard. And then when you gain sideboard slots, we talked about 5 5 mana Vivien is just an excellent card. An excellent card for the control matchups. Heck, even this 5 mana Vivien is probably worth testing, huh? This might even be a 5 mana Vivien that you want to test in the main. Like, some of your best draws in this archetype feel like the ones where you play Nissa early and start pumping out 3/3s. Like, honestly, playing 2 to 3 of this and having like 6 to 7 5 mana payoffs where you like have double Dork or you have Dork plus Leyline and like play one of these on 3, I think that would be the direction I would go in. So like do something a little bit more like this maybe. This kind of shell where you have more threat density, and then you get to give up all of these, a lot of these random things in the sideboard. Like keep some for this Vivien, and then you get the other Vivien tribal for the sideboard. Get a couple of these in here. I think something like this could be really sweet. Just like slightly more aggressive, more payoffs here at the top end. We have all of these Viviens to make all these cheap creatures extra powerful. This is something that I would consider working on for the Hoots, or if you're just looking to play Historic in general. And then obviously you have a bunch of other sideboard slots here that you could do things with as well. Yeah, Blue Splash could maybe be okay. I don't know, it's tough because like some of... Yeah, I can export this and throw it up on Stream Decker. I'm not going to fill in the rest of the sideboard, but this will give you something to start with. I don't know that the Hydroid Krasis is kind of tough because Hydroid Krasis isn't good against Narset, and a lot of the control decks you want to try and beat play Narset. Yeah, so I think this seems like a good point though. This card, I actually forgot this card existed when we searched Vivien for the other one for the sideboard, but yeah, this seems sweet. It generates card advantage too. Yeah, and like we're a ramp deck that like the payoff is fast 5 mana things, activating Leyline, and occasionally Voracious Hydra, which doesn't seem unreasonable. All right. We've got one more historic deck this morning before we jump on into some standard. We are going to go ahead and play some Naya Winota up next. Yeah, I also don't think you can understate how important it is having a real sideboard. This is one that we played once before. If we have another okay run with this or it's fun, I think we're going to throw it up on the website because I've been having a lot of fun with this one. So I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get my deck list and everything flipped over. We'll be back in just a few minutes with some more historic action. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. My Winota. Speaking of the gamblings.